The Congressional Budget Office, or the CBO, says the United States national debt set to soar to $64 trillion over the next 10 years. On Wednesday, the CBO released its marquee report estimating that Republicans' tax and spending package that they enacted last summer and President Trump's immigration policies would increase the deficits by trillions of dollars.
Now, the CBO predicts that the annual gap between government spending and revenue is expected to rise 1.9 trillion during the fiscal year 2026. The annual deficit is then forecasted to grow to 3.1 trillion by 2036. This budget gap, per the CBO, would offset the estimate $3 trillion in deficit reduction that are expected from Trump's tariffs.
The report also shows an increase in debt held by U.S. bond holders. Debt held by the public is expected to rise from 101% of gross domestic product in 2026 to 120% in 2036.
Congressional Budget Office Director Philip Swagel said in a statement, quote, "Those sustained large deficits are historically unusual, given that the unemployment rate is projected to remain below 5% for the 10-year budget window."
White House spokesperson Kush Desai told Reuters in a statement, quote, "Smaller deficits and higher growth, thanks to President Trump's economic policies, are going to slash, not grow, America's deficit to GDP rate." Desai noted that the Congressional Budget Office frequently underestimates economic growth, adding that the 2025 GDP growth did outpace the CBO's projections.
The federal government's last budget surplus occurred more than 20 years ago in the year 2001.
It's not good. Massive.
I know this is like
massive
scratching nails on a chalkboard for you. I know.
It's so horrible. This is going to be our legacy to our children and our children's children. Massive, unsustainable government enacted debt that we are making no effort to fix. We should be a solvent nation. You would never, if people's personal spending habits, you would never say this was responsible to go into debt like this. I know it's a little bit different because the country can print money and has control of the currency itself. It's still bad. And we know what's causing this debt. It is America's all too generous system of entitlements and its bloated military.
No, you missed.
It's those two things.
You buried the lead. Sure, you can argue that those things add to the debt, but surely you heard that the big, beautiful bill is causing this debt.
Yeah, because
surely you heard that the immigration policies are contributing to causing this debt. Surely you read the same script that I just read.
Well, I don't agree with the immigration
It's not.
policies.
It's the Congressional
They also
Budget Office.
add to the yes.
Oh, you don't agree with the policies. I thought you meant you don't
it's-
agree with the CBO.
No. They've added, yes, I oppose the big beautiful bill. It
Yes.
added to the debt.
Rising debt equals higher interest rates equals slower growth for our
It's all
country.
bad.
It's that simple.
It's all bad.
And
but
so-
what the government spends most of its money on is the Defense Department and Medicare and Social Security.
But to be an administration,
That's what we have to get
but
at.
to be an administration that even for fiscally conservative people that was interested in their interests were piqued by what DOGE could possibly do, to see this administration bring in Department of Government Efficiency and then watch Elon Musk leave after less than a year and watch the debt skyrocket in a year, and then for the next 10 years, I think it says it's going to skyrocket even more. I mean, that's absurd.
Republicans
to watch
have
all the
no
damage.
interest in controlling the debt. Zero.
So you realize
they
that
run
was
on
all
it. I've known
Well, you
that
had
for
faith in
20
Elon
years.
Musk for a little while, so that's
Well, I think Elon Musk has a sincere effort in it, but he was only at it for 100 or 150 days or something, and then back to the private sector, and that legacy doesn't live on. It's not
It's the Band-Aid of it all, though. You give people a little bit of tax cuts, you tell them it's a good thing, and then you realize we're hurting future
You have to
generations.
pass legislation. You have to pass legislation that privatizes Social Security, that makes huge cuts to Medicare or finds ways to save money there, and you have to shrink the Defense Department consistent with an America First foreign policy that does not engage in nation building or costly intervention. You do those three things, you could get rid of the debt, and you could create a sustainable economy for our descendants.
Robbie, you sound as confident as Elon Musk, but you see he
Well,
left
it could
with
easily
tail
be done.
tucked. I mean,
They
he
just
said
have to actually
easily.
make the legislation. They won't do it. They run on doing and they won't do it. That's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. Republicans promise to control the debt. Democrats make no such promises.
That's a good one. Former President Obama spoke on a number of topics in a recent interview, including whether or not he thinks aliens exist. I'm going to talk about that in my lens. Stick around.